Today on Drawbli,
we are looking at the art of Joseph del Rosario.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And let's check out some awesome art yet again. Now, Abby, I told you this one would be a little different, and that is because we are going to get to see a lot of Joseph's process here.
Wow, what a gift.
So we're not going to be looking at as many artworks. Joseph has a ton of really cool artwork on his ArtStation and on his other social media platforms, or theirs, I should say. And if you would like to check out more of it, please check out the link below in the description. We always include the artist's social stuff down in the description below. So yeah, we're gonna get to take a look at their process.
This is mesmerizing already. And it's already so informative just to see the modifications made to slight adjustments and ultimate body language and everything. This is so cool.
Yeah, getting to see how they kind of rough in an idea and then go about rendering is super cool. There are so many levels of polish. I don't know if you saw that really quick few frames of all these colorful circles and stuff. But they often do that, from what I've noticed, to include areas of focus. They're focus here, no focus here, detail here, etc.
Interesting.
So it's really interesting getting to see how that all shakes out. So here's another one where we get to see some of that process of thumbnailing. What I really like about getting to see that is that I get to learn that they're kind of putting in the color and lighting really early to rough it in, of kind of, they start with that small kind of thumbnail style idea, which is something I don't do enough. I need to, I think, start smaller with more of some of my rough beginnings.
Okay. Yeah, that might be true.
Keep it the bigger picture in mind.
Yes.
Which is definitely something that I lose sight of very easily.
I feel like I'm going to want to go back and rewatch this later in slow motion, frame by frame, to pick up on more little tips and tricks and how things go. This is so nice and informative to watch. I really appreciate getting to watch a time lapse because we don't do that really on our artist adventures, or we haven't.
Yeah, it's very, very rare, I would say, that people provide that kind of content with their artworks. So it's super cool to dig into it here a little more. We also get to see, a little more of some decision making with them creating a few variations there.
I love all the slight adjustments they make. That's so nice to see, how much of slight adjustments go into things.
Yeah, redrawing the face a few times there.
Yeah, I rarely make those kinds of adjustments, and I feel like this is educational. I don't need to necessarily redraw so much, but I could absolutely make plenty of adjustments. And then seeing all the blending in the face and the skin and how that's all coming together to create a whole cohesive thing is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching these makes me feel a little better about wanting to create more really rough sketches and not try to get these perfect lines and try to get into painting a little faster. Painting ultimately is the thing that I really enjoy a lot more than drawing. I still do enjoy drawing, but I feel like in some ways I really want to get better at painting more so than drawing.
Okay.
I want to focus there more than anything.
It's nice to be able to, come into contact with color. Drawing just on its own, with just lines, it can limit the way you get to play with and experiment with color. And color is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Such a nice thing about digital art too is how free you are to experiment and use color in a way that you really wouldn't have the same liberty with traditional, without a lot more planning and forethought.
Yeah, I think digital art kind of revolutionized color in a lot of ways, where there's a lot more variation, a lot more experimentation. Everything about digital artwork is loads faster than traditional.
Yeah, we can just see a larger volume of work come out of it, and that allows artists to improve that much faster.
There was some really interesting stuff happening at the beginning of this one, specifically with that hand, her hand that has that purple sleeve on it, with the framing of it. But then they had these leading lines that they created to help play around with that. So it was super interesting to just see how they went about that process. Yeah, all of this is really just super helpful to see how they go about like this early sketch. And I feel like this one they maybe spent a little more time on the sketch, but they get into that like rough paint stage so quickly. I love that.
Yeah, and then they just refine it from there. This is so encouraging. I was just doing some rough painting onto some sketches of my own earlier today, and then leaving it at that, at a very, very rough state, just kind of in a more of a daily drawing mindset than a trying to do anything with it. But this is so encouraging to see like somebody else going the same approach and then saying, and then you just take it steps further.
Yeah, and just keep working on it, kind of just noodling away. Well, not noodling. Noodling implies you're not actually changing anything. But yeah, I feel like their process is actually pretty similar to what I've been trying to develop myself. So yeah, like you said, it's really encouraging to be able to see how this is developing. And we'll finish up here with one last one of them creating this really cool painter. I love the angle of the camera here. It's super cool.
Yeah, watching them block this in. Oh, this is so cool. I'm so glad that they've provided these time lapses for people to see and get to know how they create things. Oh, that adjustment of the face.
Yeah, well, adjustment. Cool. Completely redrawing it.
Yeah, you're right. Wow.
Yeah, I love how they block in the perspective really early and kind of work on their framing. Super cool. I'm a big fan of this artist.
Me too. What a nice thing, all these time lapses.
And if you want to be a nice thing, click that like and subscribe button.
And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say...
Bye.
Goomba.
Ben, I'm sure people appreciate that we post our time lapses too. Maybe not to the extent that we appreciate these time lapses, but we post ours, so.
We are posting all of ours.
We hide nothing.